At this point, you're probably wondering, what are you doing, Captain Willie? I know I haven't uploaded in a while. That's life. I've been collecting parts. I've been hoarding stuff in trying to complete a project that I had in mind, that I have in mind. So, you see I'm tearing the boat apart. No, it doesn't leak. That's a 75 horsepower outboard with a jet pump. For those of you that don't know, that little red thing down there robs power like crazy. And it's making 52.5 horsepower at the nozzle. How do I make more power? This boat is big. It didn't used to be big. If you're interested on why it's not small anymore, you could watch another video that I have on the channel, how I made my boat wider. It used to be a 1648, essentially a John boat, a large John boat. Not large enough. Ripped it down the middle. Anyway, you know about that. So, a boat of this size, which is 7'3" rail to rail, gunnel to gunnel, and 16 feet long still, it needs 100 horsepower. Straightforward, that's exactly what it needs. Well, most guys with this size of boat are running like either 80 or 115, you know, right around there. I can't afford that. Even if I were to find some junk Johnson sitting in the backwood of somebody's place and put it on this, there's still one thing I don't really like about that. It's heavy. I'm a race car guy. I need power to weight ratio. I crave that. But this thing, according to Mercury's website, weighs about 348 pounds. That's with a lower unit. This obviously has a pump on it, so it's a little bit lighter. Still, I'm going to take a wild guess at 320 pounds. Too heavy. So I would say something like, I'm going where no one's gone before, like I did that one video, but this would not be the case. Lots of people have done what I'm about to do, but they do it wrong. Yes, you have done it wrong. You've all heard of a jet John. Okay? Dudes are taking these little John boats, you know, like 4812s, you know, and they're taking a jet ski and they're cutting that bottom piece of fiberglass out and they're attaching it to the jet ski, or attaching it, the jet ski bottom, to the John boat. That works. It's also hokey dokey as hell, and it's just not right. The inlet is way too far forward. The outlet is not nearly far enough back. I've done an extensive amount of research on where inlet and outlet should be placed for this shape and size of a boat, and even all John boats. All of these fiberglass patch-in crap, that's not the way to do it. You need the inlet, according to race boats, you need the inlet as far back as you can get it, yet not too far back that when you turn, it sucks air. This is a flat bottom boat. When I turn, it doesn't list at all. So that's not really a problem. I could put the damn inlet 6 feet behind the boat and it wouldn't make a difference. Obviously not doing that. That would be weird. But I also want the nozzle as far back as possible. For example, if you want to do that, you probably don't care about all of this. There's a bunch of math about it. Anyway, if this is the boat, and I've got a little tiny stick hanging out the bottom, and I try to push the boat to turn it, or push it to go forward, or push it to go in the water, it's not a lot of leverage right here. But if I had a large stick hanging out the bottom, it doesn't take nearly as much force. You've got a lot more leverage. So the further out the back it hangs, the better. There's a bunch about that. You could do your own research if you're interested. But so I've been building something, and today I'm taking that off, and yes, I'm cutting a hole in the boat, and we're going inboard. Another topic. When people do inboard with these Jet John things, they're using the Sea-Doo motor. And there's a massive array of different CCs and horsepower outputs and all that. They only crank 6,200 RPM. Any Sea-Doo you buy. That does 6,200 RPM. I want more. You know what is small, light, makes a crap load of RPM, a crap load of power? Yes, it's a Rotax, just like what's in the jet skis, only the jet skis don't have enough power. So I'm going snowmobile. I have collected this stuff. Fumble the phone. This is a Skidoo 583 Rotax 2-cylinder 2-stroke Rave. This sucker weighs 74 pounds and makes between 100 and 106 horsepower. This is a jet pump off of a 1100 cc jet ski. A Ski-Doo. So I built this. It came with that. I cut that out of the jet ski. I'm not in any of this very much money, like little to nothing. I've waited for the right deals to come along, and I've seized the opportunity. So, matter of fact, I got the jet ski for free, and I got that for $100. Runs tits, by the way. So I made this tunnel to replace the fiberglass tunnel. Piece of pipe, some pieces of sheet, bent it to curve to match this, and I did the inlet. This is all slightly oversized, than the fiberglass one. This is a skid plate that I made. It goes clear back to there. A lot of these guys that put the Jet Johns in there, this sucker is a foot inside the transom. They're putting their transom like right here, if not here. That puts their inlet way too far forward. Boat comes up out of the water in order to get up on plane. Sucks air. That's not going to work for me. So this is my mount for the pump. It's at 3 degrees. There's a whole bunch of different math about that. It's got to be slightly down. Yes, your Jet John is pointing straight out. Not going to work effectively. It's got to have something to push against. For example, the water that's in the lake or river. It's got to be pointing down. This is 17.5 degrees. So is that. So this is where it's going to attach to the transom, and this is where it's going to attach to my new patch that's in the boat from when I cut it in half. So all of this is going to be inside the boat. All of this is going to be outside the boat. I'm going to build a box that houses all of this, and this is going to be exposed. I'm going to do a swim platform out the back to cover the top with a crap load of supports going down to the skid plate. That way it doesn't bend up into the pump. My friend Corey, he machined this for me because the Rotax doesn't have a key or anything. It's a weird taper. It's like 2.25 degree taper. And he made this adapter to go to the jet pump shaft. So this sucker is not very big. This is how much space is going to be robbed from the inside of the boat. I had all this plywood and stuff up here for my... Yeah, that's going to make things difficult to weld. Anyway, I had this piece of wood here that was already robbing that much amount of the boat. Had my fuel tank and everything stuffed underneath there. My whole apparatus is going to be this big. And it's only going to be in the middle. There's advantages and disadvantages to inboards, but regardless, power to weight ratio. This is what I'm going with. Worst case, I put it in, it doesn't work, I did everything wrong, my advice is terrible. I patch the hole and I put that back in. Stay tuned, we're getting crazy.